Their Fated Travels. Chapter 9. The Shrine in the Forest, Part 1. Extract from Rysandria's diary, Day 31.
We have rested for 4 days now in the great city, doing our own thing in the days and coming together again for the evening meal. We are staying at a reasonable inn. We at least have our own rooms. The money made from the last few weeks of adventure have allowed for that. It seems that a good coin will be made if we continue this path. Money is ultimately of no good, of course, but perhaps I can refurbish my church. It could pay for more travel costs so that our priests may spread the word of compassion and healing even further abroad, more often. I have taken these days to concentrate on self-improvement. I have practiced the focusing techniques the Holy Mother showed me. I am like a container. With each lesson I learn, I grow that bit larger. Though I am empty for now, once I am filled I shall hold more knowledge than if I had not been trained. I must stay on this path, for I feel that much suffering is before this group. There I shall be.
Extracts from the diary of Tobias.
We have been summoned to the great temple of Ulrich. Our deeds against the Skaven, our mission to recover the artifact, had not gone unseen.
Maestro's diary.
Not another temple! Now then, this is what I was talking about previously. How ridiculous religion is! For example, Sigmar means very little to the Temple of Ulrich, for the devotees of this city mainly see the White Wolf. Yet Sigmar, when he lived, also worshipped Ulrich.
Extracts from the diary of Dieter. I am unsatisfied. We have done much as a group, yes, seen much, killed many. I feel so empty inside. I am incomplete. I need it my way. Prepared just right. To satisfy. They want to spend the evenings with me. My legs are as good as tied at the ankle right now. Still, there is much I don't remember. What have I unlearnt, I wonder? Who am I? Who am I truly? Extract from the diary of Tordrad. I have no idea what they are all saying, but it sounds like they are going out on a mission again. Extract from the diary of Rysandria.
I greeted a senior priest at the temple, a Father Rainulf, in my official capacity as a representative of the Shallian Order. The rest of the group were happy to let me represent them. There we also met a blind priest, Father Odo. It was explained that Father Odo has had a terrible vision. Maestro began laughing at that. He described a huge stone, though, standing on some grass, covered in bones and skulls, like trophies adorning it. He says that blood began to drip down the stone and there was an earthquake-like effect. He saw the ground crack open, and a black armoured warrior was suddenly there. The warrior bore the crest of the blood god. He said that around the great warrior's neck was a horned skull made of brass. He saw red light pour from its eyes, and he swears it spoke to him, saying, I shall be free. Perhaps a terrible omen of something is to come. It seems that the temple wishes to hire us to accompany Father Odo, so that he may attempt to find the place he saw in his vision. Perhaps the gods have given him warning to prevent a powerful artifact of chaos from emerging into the wrong hands. I have agreed to aid him on our group's behalf. When I told them, only disappointment did I see in their eyes. I told them to have faith that the gods are showing us the way to root out evil on their behalf.
Extract from the diary of Tobias.
It seems that the priest believes this huge stone to exist somewhere in the Drakwold forest. It looks like there is no getting away from it. We are to go back in. I have a very bad feeling about this. I cannot shake the feeling that someone somewhere is lying to us. Only by being the willing pawns, it seems, will we find out. Let us hope that when or if we do, we are not at too much of a disadvantage to do anything about it.
Extract from the Diary of Rysandria, Day 32.
Father Odo is a nice enough man, but something troubles him in his sleep. He is restless, at odds with something. From seeing this, I do not believe he is lying to us. Tobias is different too. Not just tonight, though. Every night. Something changes about him. It is concerning, the way he stands, the way he walks, even the way he talks. He has taken to wearing strapped leather armour under his robes. At night he sheds the robes and wears only the armour. Only when the moons are out in the night sky. Something about his manner is more abrasive, aggressive, and intolerant at these times.
On the 34th day of their travels, the third day of this particular trip, they came across broken trees and bushes. In the distance they could hear Ch9 snarling and growling, accompanied by the distinctive whinnying of a horse. They quickly made their way to the origin of the noise. There they saw a pack of wolves circling and snapping at a beautiful but strong horse, doing its best to defend itself against the attackers. The horse was barded but had no saddle. Red war paint that had decorated its entire underside had been smudged and nearly completely rubbed away. Some traces of it remained, though, as crimson patches on its skin. It was almost completely white in colour, save for the few solid marks and speckles of black on its lower legs and a black marking across half of its face, like a mask. Upon its garb was the sigil of the bear, the same Kislevite symbol worn on Tordrad's full-plated armour. Tordrad saw this and charged headlong forwards with a roar of bloodlust that the others had never heard before. His axe lashed out and began cutting wolves that turned their attention to him. Quickly the others moved forward to support his attack. Olga set upon one wolf and quickly got the better of it. Rysandria did not fire her gun. Such opponents were not evil enough to warrant its use. She instead stood her ground and prayed. Maestro fired magical dart shots to keep the wolves at bay. They were not greatly effective, but they stopped him getting surrounded. Dieter smiled. A maddened bloodlust took him, and something the others had never seen in him before. Another strange thing Tobias noticed was Dieter's shadow. It seemed almost too angular, like the branches extending from an evil tree. Dieter charged forward, swiping skillfully with his stave. It struck the beast to the face, breaking teeth. He grinned at it with satisfaction. A machete was suddenly in his other hand. He dual-wielded both weapons at once as skillfully as someone could wield just one. The others didn't have time to take in the intricacies of his combat. They had their own lives to safeguard. If they had been watching, however, they would have seen a most strange thing happen. He impacted his machete into the creature's flesh, deep into the shoulder. Then he reached down with his other hand and put his palm across the wound. A terrible smile on his face widened as the animal's flesh seared suddenly where his palm touched it. The wolf howled in distress, and Dieter cackled at this. Somehow the skin of the creature had melted, cauterized shut around the weapon with the machete still inside it. With a yank, Dieter pulled the weapon free from the wolf's skin. The damage was horrendous, matched only by Olga, who had torn the face from a wolf. Dieter commented, "Okay, who's my next patient?" Tordrad was skillfully slicing wolves down, this way and that. Nearly every stroke was a kill. He fought in a way that the others had never seen before. Though outnumbered, he used his great axe, relying on his agility to keep him from harm. It worked, for he had succumbed to no wounds. The rest of the pack retreated, now outnumbered as they were. The horse had smashed one wolf's head with its hooves, caving the thing's skull against a nearby tree stump. Olga was over there, licking at the exposed brain. Tordrad carefully approached the horse from the front, then moved to the side and ran his hand along its body. He patted it, nodded his head with a huge, joyous smile across his face as he saddled it with the saddle he had bought earlier. He had been planning on buying a horse. With one move he was on its back, rested neatly in the saddle. He said a word in Kislevite. Tobias smiled.
That is one word I do know, my friends.
Dieter looked menacingly at the halfling.
I'm no friend of yours, halfling.
Tobias ignored this and continued.
He said the word avalanche. I believe it is the beast's name.
Rysandria looked confused.
You mean to say he perhaps already knows this horse?
Tordrad understood her question by the tone of her voice, and he pointed at the horse, then at himself. Maestro commented,
I do believe you are right, Rysandria. I think that is his horse. Somehow.
Tordrad seemed to understand that too, and nodded his head enthusiastically and grinned. He patted Avalanche's side and brought it to a marching trot.
Come,
he said, in an incredibly strained Reichspiel. The others moved on too.